Toby, great to be speaking with you here and your new development. It's actually a conversion project. One comes to this building and they see all the beautiful architecture, but take us back a few years ago. I'm sure a lot of other bidders and possible developers of this project looked at it and said, I'd love to knock this church down and build, a tower or whatever the zoning permits. What gave you the sense, let me preserve this as is and just install residential units right inside?
So, when I first walked the building the first time, and it was only used by a very small congregation, so it had been empty for a while, and it was almost in awe of the soaring ceilings and the brick. Many of the other bidders, as you alluded to on the property, were looking at it purely as a floor area ratio play and thinking of building a glass or a modern building. And I, brought in the construction company I work with, and the guy who runs it for me, Michael Lichtenstein, actually crawled up in the rafters because there was, like many churches, there was a lot of decorative plaster, and it was hard to figure out what was supportive and what was structural and what you can get rid of. And in the end, we drew plans and we started a process of effectively building a building inside of a building. And it might have been cheaper on some levels to knock it down and do ground up new construction, but I think the results speak for itself.
What kind of rents are you charging for the units? Are these 1 bedrooms? Are these 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms?
Williamsburg rents today in North Williamsburg range from about $60 to $65 a square foot. And what we found in all of our buildings is that buildings that are renovations and are styled as authentic Williamsburg loft buildings, or in this case, an authentic church, we're generally getting a 10 to 15% premium on that.
When you bought this property, it was 2011, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I remember reading that you guys acquired it for something like 13 million in change, maybe a little under 14 million. How much is something like this worth today?
There have been trades in the neighborhood, buildings that have been purchased for over $1 million a unit. Some of those properties are on the waterfront. Some of them are larger buildings, so that there's a greater demand for them. They're institutional buyers coming in. So it's a little bit all over the map, but generally values here have gone up a lot, and I think a big component of that is the fact that in 2011 Sam Zell came in, Equity Residential, and made a purchase of a stabilized rental building, and that really brought the attention of the institutional capital markets to the neighborhood.
But is something like this like 60 million today, 70 million, 100 million?
So we're not selling. I have a 100-year time horizon.
Right.
But one would pay. I'm assuming that if we put it on the market, we can get numbers like that.